Beautiful song, beautiful song. Good evening, everyone. Shavua Tov. I hope everyone enjoyed Shabbat. The little graphic that we have up there now, it's a humorous little meme based on the August 3rd rally against Israel, where I went with the Judea is Jewish, and the other side said "Ho's mad" on the sign. So we've had some recent news since then, so that's why I'm bringing this little meme back from a couple weeks ago. In the Shomron and Judea, Israel is expanding the villages and reopening some that were previously shut down by previous governments. So for our side, that's a definite victory. It's a joyful moment for the Jewish people. Anytime we are able to declare sovereignty over more of our land. And of course, for the other side, Ho's mad, right? They're very upset. I just want to relish in that for a moment, that Judea and the Shomron are indeed Jewish, and it's good to be, recognizing that. Okay, so we can remove that now. That was just the first little bit of news that I wanted to put out there. I think that that was just great, especially the timing right after the Ho's mad incident, I guess. So I don't know. Just let's have a little Jewish joy for a moment off of the fact that these areas are being repopulated with Jews, and Jewish homes are being built and rebuilt. Very proud, very proud. The Israeli government, as you know, gets a lot of criticism from this camp regarding being too liberal. So, yeah, it was good to see something go in the other direction. Now, time to talk about some things that are a little less joyful. Not depressing or anything, but things to be aware of. As I'm sure you have seen, if you pay attention to these things, and if you're watching this channel, you probably do. You've seen our brother from another mother, our bad brother from another mother, Jake Lang, Yaakov, causing some stir in Dearborn and Minnesota. Now, of course, I'll reiterate this for those who don't read the blog and whatnot, but obviously, Jake Lang is very anti-Judaism, even though he is ethnically a Jew. Clearly, he has put himself in the enemy camp from us because he publicly burned a section of Talmud. Unacceptable. I don't care if you are a Jew and you converted to join Jesus or whatever. That's your personal weird journey. I might not religiously agree with it, but I'm not like pissed off about it. Okay. And I'm not particularly, going to make a character judgment on that. But I am going to make a serious character judgment on somebody who leaves Judaism to turn against it in such a way that he lumps Judaism in with Islam. He basically bought all the white power lies about Jewish control, this and that. And then, of course, actual serious neo-Nazis are on the other side with the Muslims protesting against him, saying, Jake Lang is a Jew. And you can see that on our channel, on our YouTube channel. Of course, the name is Jewish Defense League Official. So go over there on YouTube and you'll see neo-Nazis chant Free Palestine. That video is from Dearborn. So subsequent to that, in Minneapolis, the other den of snakes, there was a huge protest against Mr. Lang. And more so than at the Dearborn one, but also at the Dearborn one. And you'll see this pattern with him because he's kind of an auditor, even though obviously I do consider him, at least at the current time until he recants, we do consider him an enemy of the Jewish people because he is against Judaism and he speaks very much against it. However, we are still proponents of free speech, and no matter how stupid it is, no matter how many idiotic N-words he throws in, no matter how many incorrect statements about Judaism he issues, he's still allowed to say it as long as he's not getting violent. And he's not getting violent unless you consider, burning a book violent, which it's not. It's freedom of speech. It's stupid speech. It's speech I disagree with. And if he came to an area where we are, of course, I would go out and confront him. However, in the United States, he is legally allowed to do what he's doing, say what he's saying, protest, burn books, all of that stuff. Okay? As stupid as his positions may be on some things, he has provided for us an audit on law enforcement in this country. He goes to these areas where there are huge Muslim populations, or influential Muslim populations anyway, and left-wing areas. And you'll see that the Antifa and the people, they surround him and stuff, and they kind of the same way how they encircle me, but they seem to always get some jabs in on him. He gets beat up. He gets hit a lot. He's been bloodied. I don't know why he doesn't wear a helmet. He puts on a plate carrier like he's ready for business, but then he forgets the rest of the kit. So I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe he's trying to be a martyr or something like that, obviously, but he's not wearing enough protective equipment, clearly. But, reality sets in after I'm watching him for a while and says, yeah, but he shouldn't have to. He shouldn't have to. Because, you know what, he warns the police clearly, or somebody warns the police, because the police are always there in this footage, okay? When Jake Lang goes out, there's lots of police at all of these things, and they continually allow these Muslims and Antifa to assault this man. And I don't see arrests being made. This is unacceptable. This is an example of what's happening in the UK beginning to seep in over here. Okay, this is two-tiered policing. What did Jake Lang originally, or famously anyway, go to jail for? I don't know originally. He might have a previous criminal record, but we know him for going to jail for January 6th. What did he do with January 6th? He assaulted a police officer with some kind, maybe a bat or a stick or something. Okay. In these videos of Jake Lang protesting, you see people not only assaulting the police officers, but also assaulting the opposition. And once again, like I told you, I'm always ready to throw down with these people if they strike first. But we're not going to go out and just beat people up. That's not what we do, okay? We have to fight back, but we're not just going to go and pick fights with people who are not already fighting with us, right? So this guy is not going out and picking a fight. He's just saying things that they don't like. He's also often saying things that I don't like. He does say some things that I agree with, obviously, about the Islamic takeover is a problem, so on. But he also has, everything has a caveat, right? He also throws in things about Hindus, like, oh, well, we have too many Hindus and things like that. Well, okay, if you're going to defeat Islam, the Hindus they're already here, first of all, and they're your friends in that battle because they get slaughtered by Muslims regularly. They fight with them in the streets of many cities around the world, like physical fight. Just recently in UK, I don't remember what city, but they had Jai Shri Ram, this chant that they do, praising their guy, march, and the Muslims reported it as harassment and provocation, and that's why they were able to go out and fight the Hindus. Okay, so again, Jake Lang is a fool, but we allow fools in America. And what we're not supposed to allow is injustice based on somebody's political viewpoint, based on whether or not it's popular, right? And this is the same thing that I've talked about with the Palestine people, where it's not a good look for Jews to come out and say, oh, well, this Palestine people, they can't, they should not be able to protest. Well, okay, where does that end? Because then they can say that we can't protest because somebody considers our viewpoint racist or something like that, okay? So what it comes down to is we have standards in society, of American society, that we kind of live by, and we go, yeah, well, we have freedom of speech. Okay, you don't have freedom necessarily from the consequences of your speech. I understand that, but the consequences of your speech are not supposed to include felonious assault. Like when I was talking in the megaphone at May Day and the man came up to me and slapped my megaphone. I told him, don't do that again. He slapped it again because he didn't believe I have freedom of speech to say things that disagree with him. So he assaulted me. I took him down. Okay. Jake Lang hasn't taken anybody down yet. I don't know if this dude can fight. You would think after being a white power dude in prison, you would have learned how to fight. But he just gets his ass beat constantly, and he shouldn't. Besides the point that I think he does need, have some sense slapped into him. These are not the people who are going to do it. Antifa and Muslims, okay? They don't have any sense to slap into him. The police allowing this man to repeatedly get assaulted, and there are no cases against these people for doing this, is insane. And everybody's overlooking it because the guy who it's happening to is so crazy and retarded. But first they came for the retard, and I did not speak up because I was not retarded. Maybe we should speak up. Even though we're not retarded like him, we should say, hey, even though he's retarded, you can't let Muslims beat his ass in the fucking street while there are police there. Okay? It's unacceptable. Obviously, I'm looking at it as, this is a lost Jew. I'm going to have those feelings about it too. Like, they know he's a Jew and they're beating him as a Jew. He might not want to admit it to himself, but that's what they're doing. They're allowing Muslims to beat a Jew publicly in the streets. Get this through your head, guys. Regardless of how stupid his viewpoint is and how much against Judaism he claims, they always will name the Jew. Okay? They will always name the Jew. That's why being an anti-Zionist Jew is not safe. Okay? Because you're putting yourself into situations where you're surrounded by these people who go, well, you're still a Jew. I didn't give a fuck what you said about politics, blah, 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 blah. That's all subterfuge. You're trying to distract us from the fact that you're a Jew. That's the way that they're going to view it. They're not going to look at it another way and say, oh, well, you know, he's on our side now. Yeah, or something like that. You know, or he's not a Jew now, or he's a Christian now, or he's whatever, you know, unless you converted to be like a jihadist Muslim, to them, you're always a Jew. Because to God, you're always a Jew. You just always are a Jew. You can't, it's blood in, blood out. You can't stop being a Jew. Okay? You can stop practicing Judaism, but you can't stop being a Jew. It's a state of being, and you cannot stop it. It's essential. It is the essence of your being. So you've got neo-Nazis and Muslims shouting, Jake Lang is a Jew, Jake Lang is a Jew. Across the thing, Jake Lang going, fuck the Jews and the Muslims. Yeah, so it's idiotic and it's a spectacle, but all of the noise and distortion is making us as a community overlook the fact that they are letting Antifa and Muslims beat the shit out of a Jew that everybody knows is a Jew publicly on camera in the streets, and no one is getting arrested. Yes, Jake Lang is a Jew, and they're hitting him because of that, and nobody's doing anything. It's not okay. It's not fucking okay. As much as I disagree with Jake Lang, he is not a legal exception. You cannot allow this to occur. This is an audit of our system, and we are seeing the two-tier policing on live stream in real time. And we need to start having this discussion before it gets like the UK. Okay? Like Ben Shapiro says, these are the discussions that we really need to be having. Okay? Jake Lang is a zip damn fool, but a zip damn fool does not mean that you get to beat the shit out of him if you're a Muslim or a communist. Okay? It's not fucking acceptable. And we're monitoring this and this two-tier policing stuff going on, but this is the canary in the coal mine. Realize that what they'll do to dumbass Jake Lang the Jew, is what they're trying to normalize to do to the rest of us. Okay? So just for a moment, overlook the fact that, you know, that he supports Chud the Builder and he's like, you know, N-word this, N-word that, or whatever. I don't want to get, you know, kicked off the stream here for that. But you see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter what he says. It doesn't matter. He is allowed to say stupid shit, and he is allowed to oppose Muslims. He's allowed to oppose communism. He should not be a free target that the police allow you to just come up and slap around. It's not okay. So if you're trying to stalk us or write about us, you can say Jewish Defense League denounces and defends Jake Lang. But yeah, essentially that's it's a sign. And I don't want to get to where we have a Novak situation where the police are looking through your phone for racism while you bleed out on the ground because of two-tiered policing. Yes, we know that there are already cops that are biased, right? We have Muslim cops, we have racist white supremacist cops. But those are not the majority. Most police generally are normal. What we're dealing with are dictums and advisories coming down from left-wing mayors because the mayors are in control of the police. So, like the schmuck who is supposedly Jewish in Minneapolis, Weiss, he is another one that thinks the alligator will eat him last, so he lets this occur. In his mind, Jake is a white supremacist and it's okay to punch a Nazi. Okay, maybe on a personal level, that's one thing, but we're talking about you're in control of the government. You're an elected official. You're in control of the police. You should be telling them, hey, if somebody assaults this guy, arrest them. We saw a guy dressed like Spider-Man try and pull him out of the truck, injured him. We saw people hitting him with throwing things at the police. Why don't they have a guy who goes into the crowd, a policeman who goes? They just have this like phalanx line with. I mean, there's no organization here. They're not even kettling the Antifa people. They just make a police single file line between this huge crowd and this truck that Jake Lang is in. Okay, and people are throwing things at the police, shouting about you're protecting Nazis, but they don't protect them because they're literally just standing there. They're just for the visual that the mayor did send the police out. It wasn't total chaos, but yet total chaos ensues when people jump right past the police, right over the police, and try to pull this dude's shirt off, try to pull his pants down. I mean, this is disgusting. What has been allowed to happen to this guy, as retarded as he is. As I said, first they came for the retards, and I did not speak up because I was not retarded. It's time to speak up for the retarded. You know, it's this is not. He's not having free speech. He's speaking, and then the police are allowing people to assault him. Many times. A couple times in Dearborn, a couple times in Minneapolis. There have been multiple incidents, protests at both of these cities. But there are other places that I've seen streams of him where people have been able to get in his face, push on him, and he's, for some reason, maybe just to make an example, I don't know, but for some reason not defending himself. He's just like, get away from me, you know? And they don't because they don't listen. They're fucking communists, you know? They're not going to listen to you. They're going to do what they want to do. And so what ends up happening is the guy just gets his ass beat repeatedly. I mean, on one hand, it's kind of embarrassing for him because, like, dude, fight back, right? But I guess he's Christian now, turn the other cheek or something. And this is a good audit. We are learning where the police will side with the Muslims and the Antifa. Now, of course, we already knew that they do that to some degree a lot of places. We've seen this ever since I mean, really since the Battle of Seattle in '99, but intensely, repeatedly occurring at least since George Floyd riots, right? Where people would just do stuff, the left wingers get in trouble, never. Right wingers get in trouble every time they show up to oppose the left wingers. So it's becoming more and more evident that it's time. It's time to have this conversation about two-tiered policing. It's maybe we need to start talking about some legislation. But just on the side, no, they will not protect you. You must protect yourself. You must defend yourself. The police are not there for you. Okay? The police, some of them may be great people, maybe good guys, but their hands are tied by these mayors, these governors. The leadership in these states and cities is bad, very bad. Liberals, Democrats, DSA types, trying to defund the police, disempower the police, because, of course, this is part of the Cloward-Piven plan. What is the Cloward-Piven plan? The Cloward-Piven plan is a socialist, really primarily a Fabian socialist tactic to destroy systems in the West, specifically the American system, but any, England, it works. What they do is they're going to weigh down the system with so many problems, create problems that the system has to fix over and over and over, so the system can't afford it. And then they go, look, this system has failed. Okay. Fill the system, weigh it down, feel the system break down. Okay. And that's what they're trying to do. And this type of thing is how they usher in a revolution, because people become frustrated and they look for something different. They want to increase the tension and make people be more and more frustrated with these type of things like two-tiered policing and the conflict, as I talked about the national question last week. But it's more than just the national question. They want fights between nations, fights between classes, all of that, so they can swoop in during the chaos and say, we have a solution. It's called socialism. Join us. And that's what they've historically always done and will continue to do, because so far it's worked. So yes, we need to talk more about the two-tiered policing system in this country. It's a real problem now. It's becoming an issue because we are allowing these socialistic mayors. Mondami's not the first one. He's just the biggest one of the biggest city. You got Minneapolis, you got Chicago, and a couple other places too that are primarily run by these socialistic Democrats, and they don't care about you. They will not send the police to help you. You might as well sing that Public Enemy song, 911 is a joke, because at that point, if you're against the Muslims or the left, it is. They've been instructed to stand down. These stand down orders have been going out. Stand down order came out in 2015 when I was at the UIC, University of Illinois at Chicago, rally for Trump, which Trump ended up not appearing at because they had advised him that it was too dangerous and he didn't want to have all his people get in trouble. But we had already showed up. We were already there. Okay, so we were all there. We wanted Trump to come out, and they wanted blood. They wanted Zionist blood. They had some Palestinian, some Arab poet singing his little, some crap, and then a bunch of people yelling and all this stuff. The bottle was broken over a police officer's head, and no one was arrested. Policeman was bloodied in the streets of Chicago in 2015, and Mayor at the time, Rahm Emanuel, told them to stand down. He gave them a stand down order. And yes, we know that Rahm Emanuel is a problem, and he's another one we must also stop from gaining power. He's going to try and run for president. You know that, right? And we don't want Rahm Emanuel for president. Jews or Gentiles. Nobody wants this guy for president. He thinks everybody's a white supremacist, including other Jews. He is soft on crime. His own son got mugged, and he didn't press charges. So this is how soft on crime this guy is. All right. If he becomes president, prepare for late 70s New York movie era crime. Okay. Like it's gonna be ridiculously dramatic if you let that guy in office. But he is a proponent of the two-tiered policing, so we cannot let Rahm Emanuel into office. Because that was the first time I ever experienced it, where I saw somebody commit a felonious assault on a law enforcement officer, and he just had to stand there and go get medical help, and like there was no it felt like I was watching like a mini Haymarket, you know, where like these anarchist communists and Muslims have aligned against our system because they all hate our system, and I guess they figure they'll fight it out after they bring it down or whatever, which one of their systems or lack of system will take over. But obviously, historically, Islam is the one that will take over. Okay. The leftists helped Islamic people get into office to try and, communize Iran. Did they end up with communism? No, they ended up dead. They ended up dead. All of them. The alligator actually ate them first. Okay. So remember that, leftists, while you're pushing for the two-tiered policing, eventually it affects you because you're from here too. Okay. Now, I'm going to take a short little interlude here, and we're going to watch a little video. And this is from what they call the beer hall push, or what I call the Detroit beer hall push. You can read about this on our blog and watch this full video on the channel. But I'm going to play this. This is 2023 in Detroit. And, this is when the socialists flexed on the mainstream Democrats at their Christmas party in Detroit. Essentially what it was, PSL, some DSA, Alphabet Soup, all came to surround this holiday party with an Indian Hindu guy who is a Democrat is a Senator Thanadar, who's speaking. Now, of course, he's since come out for Palestine. Of course.
I first heard about Bleach
Here we go.
Battalion, amusingly enough,
Oh wait, hold
through
on.
Matt Phoney.
Sorry about that. But what happened was a turning point in the politics in America in general, but especially on the left, because they finally intimidated them. They finally made it seem like it wasn't just, there's some people in college who were like really into this Palestine thing and stuff. No, they said, we're a force and we will hurt you if you don't comply. And Democrats learned that at the Christmas party in Detroit in 2023. This was soon after October 7th. So here we go.
Stand the fuck up. It's a boycott on Arabs. It's a boycott on them. It's time. It's motherfucking time. They came in here, they bust me in my head. And everything.
Look how bloody she is.
This is the blacks that are fighting against them.
Looks like the video might have frozen here. But I think you get the vibe, right? Like, even if you didn't see the full video there, I feel like you got the idea. She is calling essentially for a boycott on Arabs, which of course did not ensue in the following months and years in the Democratic Party. They actually went the complete other direction. They said, fuck you black people and Indians, we're going with the Arabs. But there is a lot of tension between black people and Arabs. A lot of white people don't realize that, and they just kind of go, oh, well, you know, black and brown. They've created a new race, you know, black and brown, that everybody goes together. But in the hood, the Arab is the man who rips you off, okay? He buys a bunch of junk food for his grocery convenience store, usually using an EBT card. So he's basically getting the food for free. Then he's selling it back to you at twice the price, at least, okay? And you know this because you go, and I'm not making this up, this is not an accusation. You can go in any hood store in the south side of Chicago and you'll find products from other stores that are those stores' brands. Like Great Value is from Walmart. What is it doing in the corner shop? They don't distribute there. No, that guy went to Walmart and he's selling you back the Walmart products at twice the price. Okay. The other thing is, not everybody realizes it, but most people do realize that the Arabs still have slaves. They're very racist. They take Africans as slaves. The most African people in slavery are obviously in Arab countries, okay? There's confirmed more than 740,000 Africans currently enslaved by Arabs, okay? And that is a, you know, minimum number, okay? But the Democrats went with the Arabs, clearly. This is why you see Syed in Michigan, where this happened. Okay? So as much as I as much as I disagree with the Democrats, we have to also help save the Democrats. Like, we can't let a whole half of the politics go over to the fucking Palestinian communists, you know, because that's what we're doing. There's only two parties, and they're taking over one of them. Yeah, they should probably be stopped. So Democrats who are sane at all in the world, fix that shit. Otherwise, it's going to be the end of your party because everybody's going to just treat it as the completely anti-American party. Maybe the libertarians will emerge under this, but a lot of them are idiots on the Israel issue as well. Speaking of idiots on the Israel issue, that's a perfect segue to my next and final topic for the evening. Jewish wimps. We have some people who consider themselves to be Jewish Zionists who still believe in two states, even after October 7th. People who have seen the horrors, people who have seen the street action in America and all over the West by these pro-Palestine protesters, and still for some reason believe that we can make peace with these people. Rabbi Kahana was too extreme. I don't understand how you could know what happened on October 7th, admit it, and still think of a rabbi who taught the Torah as extreme. The other side is the extreme ones, okay? Rabbi Kahana never said, hey, you know what we should do? We should go into Gaza and go into one of their parties and gather up all the women and rape them and burn them and tie them together with barbed wire, you know? Let's go and shoot their dogs. No. We've never said that on our side. Anybody on the Zionist side, actually. But even the most extreme among people have never said or suggested that anything like October 7th would be acceptable. It's not acceptable, and it never will be acceptable, and I don't care how much you try to normalize it. But we still have people, actual Jews, who admit to tearing down JDL posters and stickers or covering them up with other things, just the same as the fucking Arabs and Antifa do. Wow. You people are scum. You are cucks, capos, sellouts, bitches, and all manners of bullshit. There is no reason whatsoever, even if you're not into Rabbi Kahana, to tear down fellow pro-Israel Jewish propaganda or to cover it up or anything like that. And there have been Jews in New York City doing that, liberal Jews who claim to be Zionists. Well, let me tell you something. You're out of the fucking club. You're not a Zionist. You're a bitch. You're a sellout, and if you're trying to make connections with the Palestinian and Muslim community and this was going to work against it, well, thank us, fuckface, because we just saved you from getting raped. Okay? Because you were going to go into some little space that you thought was safe because you're not a Kahanist, fake word Kahanist created by the feds. Because you're not a Kahanist, you can go in and talk to the Muslims and talk to the pro-Palestine people and get your fucking ass raped and killed. So thank us later, moron. If you are an anti-JDL Jew, you're against Judaism. Does that mean that Judaism says specifically join and support the JDL? Well, yeah, that's arguable, but that's not my point. My point is this: you are bearing false witness against your fellow Jew. Okay, that's a transgression. That is definitely a sore bear right there. Okay, all right, because you're claiming that we're racist, that we're terrorists, any of this other bullshit. That is all things that are pro-Palestine narratives. None of these originate within pro-Israel circle. All of these accusations were people who were looking for something bad about the JDL. This is all confirmation bias stuff. Oh, well, I found some guy who was connected with the JDL and he did something bad, so now I can lump in the whole JDL with that. And no. I'm not gonna play these fucking games with you. If I catch you tearing down fucking JDL shit, I'm going to fuck you up. And what does that mean? Well, it depends on the situation and your attitude once I confront you. But you're definitely gonna fucking hear from me. Okay? Or if there's another JDL person that's putting up stuff and you come and they see you doing that, you're gonna get into it with us. So it's just fucking stop. Just fucking stop. We don't tear down your fucking stickers. As a matter of fact, a lot of us do also put up other Jewish stickers. But you know what? We're gonna stop that now. We're gonna stop doing stickers for your little different groups and your little Instagram pages. Unless you have fucking Rabbi Kahana on there, we're gonna fucking leave you out of it because you know what? Fuck you. All right? You hate us the same as the fucking Palestinians do? Throwing your fellow Jew under the bus to the enemy will never save you. It just makes you look like a bigger bitch in the eyes of the enemy and they'll rape you harder. So deal with that. Deal with your own fucking mental problems and your weakness instead of going out and trying to project it onto other Jews like us, okay? If we put that fucking sticker up there, you leave that fucking sticker where the fuck it was until the sun fades it out. You want to go and put your thing, put another one next to it that says, oh, peace and love, Jewish peace. I mean, you put your fucking message, all right? But don't try to fucking silence our message. Because our message is the real Torah. And without that, the Jews would not even exist in the first fucking place. The Torah is the reason that Jews exist. We became a nation at Sinai. We became a family first when Abraham circumcised, where'd that come from? From God, circumcised his household and began following Hashem. You can be secular and live how you want to, but the Torah and the Jew are inseparable. You're always going to have a relationship with the Torah, even if you're going to be a hater and talk shit about it and be like, well, you know, I don't think this was a good rule and blah, 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 blah. The point is you're still having to deal with and talk about the Torah. So don't try to deny and act like, oh, well, you know, this guy who's teaching the Torah, that was racist or this and that. No, okay? You're the one that's being racist. You have the bigotry of low expectations, okay? You think that everybody that is outside of your little liberal, white assimilated, suburban Jewish viewpoint is in some other extreme world, and you're out of touch. You don't understand things, okay? You're saying that, oh, I'm liberal and I care about these different things, but then you're going against, number one, obviously, I mean, I hate to play the race card, but how many other Jewish organizations are headed by a black woman right now? I'll wait. So we're the racist group, but all of you are white assimilated. How's that work? How the fuck does that exactly work? It doesn't. It's nonsense. It's a lie. It's bullshit. All of these white assimilated Jews want to tell me that how me, the black Jewish woman, is too fucking racist. How the fuck am I racist? Who am I racist against? Oh, Muslims are a race now, I guess. Palestine is a race. So you buy into the enemy's narrative, you repeat Nazi fucking propaganda, and you expect me to respect you? You expect other people to respect you? You expect that you're going to make inroads with the Muslim community? They're fucking laughing at you. Going, look at, they're throwing their own fucking people that are serious about the religion under the bus. They're laughing at you. When a Jew is seen covering up hardline Jewish propaganda, they laugh at you. Just the same as they laugh at their fellow Muslims who go and try and be cute with the LGBT and all that shit. All right? They laugh at you because you're a joke. And I'm laughing at you too, but then I have to cry because it's fucking pitiful. So, as I said, Jews, stop fucking with our stickers. We already have enough issues with these fucking psychotic transgenders and pro-Palestine weirdos trying to tear our shit down, and you're gonna fucking come and, you know, basically support Palestine. That's what you're fucking doing. You're covering up Zionist material. What is that? That's pro-Palestine. Get the fuck out of here calling yourself a Zionist if you would ever even consider speaking publicly against Rabbi Kahana, or calling the Torah racist, or talking against the Jewish Defense League. What the fuck is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Calling a rabbi racist. You kiss your bubby with that mouth? Disgusting. Shonda. I spit upon your name, you who would do something so disgusting. After October 7th. No, maybe it was, you know, if this was 10 years ago, I'd be like, yeah, whatever, they're pussies, they're scared, and they don't want to, you know, blah, blah, blah. But it's fucking clear at this point that the enemy is pissed off without you even doing anything. You could be literally standing there in a keffiyeh dancing with an Arab, and they'll come and rape and fucking burn you. Stop playing games and stop living in a fucking fantasy. God damn. Good night.